Hey, we're live.
Hey, now we're on Matthew. Is that accurate?
Yes, now we are. It finally
Are
it
we,
it
are we
but the
on now?
buffering, the speed. It's
It's like checking. It's sort of
yes.
like, hmm. Okay, yes, we're on now.
We're
Hey,
fine.
everybody, it's Teepa and Matthew, and we're going to do another challenging situation today. And this is a question that's come in, multiple times. And the basic structure of it is, how do you have a conversation about what needs to happen if the person you're trying to have the conversation with thinks everything's fine and you're like, well, it isn't. I mean, you're having trouble driving, you're having trouble with money, you're having trouble with housing, you're making mistakes, you're still trying to run a business and you can't. I mean, there are things that are happening. Your sense of what you can do and what you can do aren't matching. So pause. I will say the very first thing that's got to happen is you got to be in a better place. If that's how you're feeling, and it's real intense, it's important to look in the mirror and realize you're in active distress because what you're foreseeing is danger. And you aren't just feeling like it's risky, you're feeling like it's dangerous. So we've got to really first back up and work on where you're coming from. And what you're going to be ending up doing if you aren't careful is pushing directly into the other person because you've already told me they think they're fine. So we can't do that forward press. It won't go anywhere. I mean, we'll just foul out. In basketball terminology, it's right around that time. Yes, and never mind. Okay, that's a whole sad story. I'm not going to go there. It's okay. I'm fine. So depending, oh, Matthew's trying to help me out here with what I need to do versus what I'm doing. I'm fine. I'm fine. There are two kinds of fine, and we won't pick up on that if we're too revved up with our own distress. There's the I'm fine, and I truly have no idea that anything's going wrong. And we have the I'm fine covering an acute distress state of my own, where my little feet under the water are like, oh my God, I don't want anybody to find out. I am having trouble, but last thing I want is everybody trying to control me or take over or lose control. I can't lose control. And so some of this, you might actually want to think back on the person and who they've been their whole life. Are they a person that really values being in control and has always become really distressed, but trying to feel like it's okay? I'm telling you, we'll figure it out. Go sit down. I'll be with you in a minute. I can only do one thing at a time. And right now, I am fixing supper. And I need you to be quiet while I'm doing that. Now, if any of you out there had that feeling, oh my Lord, I feel like I'm back home and I'm being reprimanded by my mom, it's like, uh huh. Because as the saying goes, you're getting on my last nerve. In other words, I can't take anymore. I'm afraid I'm going to lose control. So rather than do that, I'm trying to separate us. I'm trying to get you to go do something so I can focus on what I need to do. And I'm struggling to do while I do you, while we have this interaction. So if you're noticing that kind of feeling to the situation, be aware. You may not be the right person for the conversation because as soon as you come into the situation, there's this sense of who's trying to control whom. This has a feel to it that has history, that has voice, that has tone, that has intensity. So that may be a really good time to go, I need help, as the helper, to go, I don't know if I'm the right person to bring it up, but I'm sensing that this is really starting to get to the edge. And I'm really afraid something bad could happen. But you're not saying that to the person, you're saying that to a third party. And you and the third party are working together to figure out, okay, so how do we start to address this? Now, another type of this situation is where I truly am clueless that anything's changing. I truly do still believe that everything's super fine. I'm not having any trouble. I don't know what you're worried about because I'm sightless in that area. I can't pick up on it because I've lost my ability to see myself clearly. And I'm truly basing current experience on past experience. Now, this has a term, it's called anosognosia. And the challenge with it is that I cannot self-perceive this. And it's not because I'm in denial. That's a very different phenomenon. The other one was closer to denial, but it was, I would say, I need to be in charge. It was about fearing a locus of control shift, and trying to hang on with everything I've got. This one is truly, I don't see what the problem is. If there's a problem, if I'm an outward person, I may blame it on the car, you, other situations. If, however, it's more along the lines of that I think you're blaming me, then I think you're ridiculous. I mean, this is absurd. Why would I be doing that? I never did that. And whether it's memory, whether it's getting lost, whether it's spending money, whether it's gambling, whatever it is, I simply don't see your area of concern. So if talking with me raises your temperature and causes your breath to hitch, and you're thinking, how could you not? Probably again, guess what? You may not be the right person unless you get more support, or unless you practice to a point where you can let yourself sort of be present. Because learning that somebody has anosognosia is incredibly important for the future, because it means I'm working with somebody who's lost the part of their brain function that allows them to be self critical, self accurate, self aware in a way that they would have been at some point. Um, because at this point, you're recognizing, wow, huh, so she's not seeing her driving as a challenge. Okay, this may require the intervention of an authority figure who has more power than you do. And like just as I understand, you may be it may require looking at another reason why driving shouldn't happen, why money management needs to shift. It may require deeper thinking and probably a team. But what I can say is it's going to be more of a challenge, and it will be a different challenge than the person in the first category. Um, and then we have the third category where I sort of am aware in moments, and then a lot of the time I'm not aware. And it sort of comes and goes with a variable awareness, which is real consistent with a Lewy body or FTD. I mean, it can really come and go a good bit if it's one of the first symptoms of my changing abilities. And so you want to pick your moments carefully. And the tricky part is you can't continue to count on them, because although I have moments of awareness, I have a lot of moments where I'm not. So an agreement made in a moment of awareness doesn't necessarily mean there'll be follow through. So, yeah, it's a challenge, but not addressing the challenge and not starting to work on the challenge, if for no one else, maybe just for yourself. Matthew, any thoughts or words you want to click into this little monologue I've been doing here?
Teepa, lots and lots of great information. The part that I really stands out to me is that idea of doing a self check-in, a pause, and really checking in to make sure you're in a place where you can be supportive. And if you're not, then what can I do? Where can I take this evaluation step and figure out what the switch is going to be, so that something positive, something that is helpful could come out of this? Because so often we feel like we have to take it on, or we have to just go in and just get it done, or we got to get the person to realize this or whatever it is. And that stress, that need, amygdala driven need to go fix this thing or make it better, often gets in the way, makes it hard, like you said, for us to see what's going on, what's happening. So that idea of the pause and really to check in before, and how important that is, versus just going in where you're at and doing the same
So
thing over and
using
over.
your pipes, your 5 Ps, and your 6 pieces of the puzzle, because it's important to know I can't fix you. Maybe what I can do is look for other stakeholders, including looking at myself. Maybe it's the environment somehow, or maybe it's how time's getting used. Maybe I have an option to look at other health issues or other, cognitive things that might account for what's happening here or help me and my brain. Or perhaps even there's a possibility that maybe it's gem states, maybe it's something else. But we've got to sort of figure out how we're going to approach this if we're going to stay in the picture, because the other person is in whether they like it or not. And it's not a choice which parts of your brain get damaged with this condition, but it sure does make a difference in choices for us. All right. There's been a study, and I'm going to leave it out for right now, but I will attach it so you can see it. It is one of the most self-fulfilling prophecies I think that we could, and it's concerning, or maybe I won't share it yet. We'll hold on to it. It'll be sort of like this little nugget that we'll come back to because it was really quite, really, huh? Okay. So this is to get you to come back. Actually, not. I hope you'll come back anyway, but it'll be something we can talk about in the future. All right, everybody. Till next time, you'll have to be careful watching my mouth move, my hand move in the loop, because apparently we've got some AI out there. And trust me, I haven't found any cure to dementia. So if you hear me say that, that's not actually me. Somebody else has farmed my visual and my voice. Oh, I'm so sorry. Till next time, take care of yourself and take care with care. Bye, y'all.
Thanks, Teepa. Bye, everybody.